Let me tell you something that most people discover far too late in life. Your life does not change in one giant moment. It changes in the small moments that nobody notices. It changes when you decide to read one more page, even when you feel tired. It changes when you learn one more skill while everyone else is wasting time. It changes when you choose discipline over comfort, growth over excuses, and progress over perfection. Most people are waiting for a miracle. They are waiting for the perfect opportunity. They are waiting for someone to open a door. They are waiting for the right time, the right motivation, the right circumstances. But here is what most people don't understand. The person you become tomorrow is being created by the choices you make today. Every single day, you are either building yourself or slowly destroying yourself. There is no standing still. Your mind is either expanding or shrinking. Your abilities are either improving or becoming outdated. Your confidence is either growing through action or weakening through avoidance. Think about this for a moment. A tree does not become massive overnight. Nobody looks at a tiny seed planted in the ground and says, "Why is this not a huge tree tomorrow?" Nobody gets angry at the seed because it has not produced fruit after one day. Because we understand nature. We understand that growth takes time. But somehow, when it comes to ourselves, we forget the same principle. We plant a new habit today and expect a new life tomorrow. We read one book and expect wisdom. We exercise for 1 week and expect transformation. We work for 1 month and expect success. And when we do not see immediate results, we quit. But success was never built that way. The greatest transformations in life happen quietly before they become visible. A person studies every morning before sunrise. Nobody applauds. A person practices a skill after everyone goes to sleep. Nobody notices. A person chooses to control their emotions instead of reacting. Nobody celebrates. But those invisible moments are creating a visible future. Let me share a truth with you. The difference between an ordinary life and an extraordinary life is often not one massive decision. It is thousands of small decisions repeated consistently, 1% better. That is the secret. Not becoming perfect, not becoming someone completely different overnight. Just becoming 1% better every single day. Because 1% sounds small. And that is why most people ignore it. They underestimate the power of small improvements because they are looking for dramatic changes. They want a revolution, but life is usually transformed through evolution. Small improvements, small disciplines, small choices repeated again and again until they become powerful. I learned something years ago. The most successful people are not always the most talented people. They are often the people who understand the power of consistency. They understand something most people never learn. You don't have to change your entire life today. You have to change your direction today. Because direction determines destination. If you are walking 1 degree away from your destination, you may not notice the difference today. But after months and years, that 1 degree creates an entirely different future. The person who improves a little every day eventually becomes unrecognizable, not because of one big achievement, but because of thousands of small victories. Let me tell you about something that happens to many people. They wake up one day and realize years have passed. They ask themselves, why am I still in the same place? Why have I not grown? Why do I still have the same problems? And the painful answer is usually this. Because they repeated the same day over and over again, same thoughts, same habits, same excuses, same fears, different dates on the calendar, but the same life. And that is one of the greatest dangers a person can face. Not failure. Failure can teach you. Failure can make you stronger. Failure can become a teacher if you are willing to learn. The real danger is becoming comfortable with staying the same. Because when you stop growing, you start losing. Life rewards movement. Life rewards improvement. Life rewards those who continue learning, The moment you decide to learn something new every day, you begin to take control of your future. You stop being a victim of circumstances. You become the architect of your own life. Think about the power of a simple question: what can I learn today? Not, what can I get today? Not, what can someone give me today? But, what can I learn today that will make me stronger tomorrow? That question changes everything. Because successful people have a different relationship with learning. They do not see learning as something that ends after school. They understand that life itself is a classroom. Every challenge is a lesson. Every mistake is feedback. Every difficult person teaches patience. Every failure reveals something about yourself. Every experience has wisdom hidden inside it. But only if you are willing to learn. Many people experience pain, but gain no wisdom from it. They go through struggles, but never grow from them. They face problems, but never ask the important question, what is this trying to teach me? Because every season of life has a message. Some seasons teach patience. Some teach courage. Some teach humility. Some teach discipline. Some teach you that you cannot continue living the same way and expect different results. And sometimes the greatest gift life gives you is a moment where you realize, I need to become better. Because growth begins when awareness begins. Before you can change your life, you must first become aware of your life. You must look honestly at yourself, look at your habits, look at your choices, look at where your time goes, look at what you are feeding your mind every day. Because your future is not created by what you occasionally do. Your future is created by what you repeatedly do. A person who spends 5 minutes learning every day is not the same person after 1 year. A person who spends 10 minutes improving their mindset every day is not the same person after 5 years. Small actions create identity. And identity creates destiny. You see, people often say, I want success. But success is not something you simply want. Successes is something you become prepared for. You cannot receive a bigger life with a smaller mindset. You cannot handle greater opportunities with weaker discipline. You cannot build a powerful future while protecting weak habits. Something has to change. And usually, the first thing that must change is not your circumstances. It is your thinking, because your thoughts become decisions. Your decisions become actions. Your actions become habits. Your habits become your character. And your character becomes your destiny. This is why learning 1% every day is so powerful. Because learning does not only add information, it transforms the person who receives it. A new idea can change your perspective. A new perspective can change your decision. A new decision can change your direction. And a new direction can change your entire life. Let me tell you something. There was a time when many people underestimated themselves because they compared their beginning to someone else's middle. They looked at successful people and thought, they are lucky. They were born different. They had opportunities I never had. But what they did not see were the thousands of invisible hours. They did not see the failures. They did not see the rejection. They did not see the mornings when nobody believed in them. They did not see the nights when they studied while others were relaxing. They only saw the result. But success is like an iceberg. People see the achievement above the surface. They do not see the discipline underneath. They do not see the sacrifices. They do not see the daily commitment. They do not see the 1% improvements that created the person standing in front of them. And that is why you must stop judging your progress too quickly. A seed does not become a tree in a week. A student does not become a master in a day. A beginner does not become an expert through motivation alone. They become great through repetition, through patience, through showing up when the excitement disappears, because motivation is temporary, but discipline is a decision. Motivation says, I will do it when I feel ready. Discipline says, I will do it because I decided it matters. And that difference separates people who dream from people who build. You must understand something about your mind. Your brain follows what you repeatedly tell it. If you constantly tell yourself, I cannot, I am not good enough, I will never change, your mind begins to accept that story. But when you start feeding your mind with better thoughts, I can improve, I can learn, I can become stronger, I can take one more step, you begin creating a new identity. The human mind is powerful, but it needs direction. A powerful mind without direction can create confusion. A focused mind can create transformation. So every morning, ask yourself, what is one thing I can improve today? Maybe it is your communication. Maybe it is your health. Maybe it is your patience. Maybe it is your knowledge. Maybe it is your ability to manage your emotions, because your greatest investment is not your money. Your greatest investment is yourself. Money can be lost. Opportunities can disappear. External things can change. But the knowledge, discipline, and wisdom you build inside yourself stays with you. Nobody can take away what you become. And that is why the person who commits to learning every day creates something priceless. They create a stronger version of themselves. A version that can handle bigger challenges. A version that can recognize opportunities. A version that does not collapse when life becomes difficult. Because growth is not only about becoming more successful. Growth is about becoming more capable of loving, more capable of leading, more capable of solving problems, more capable of creating value, more capable of handling the responsibilities that come with a bigger life. Because here is something most people never think about. Everybody wants the rewards of success. But not everybody wants the responsibility of becoming the person who deserves those rewards. Everybody wants the results. Few people want the process. Everybody wants the harvest. Few people want to plant the seeds every day. But nature has a law. You cannot harvest what you do not plant. You cannot receive what you do not prepare for. And you cannot become what you refuse to practice. So the question is not, can I completely change my life today? The better question is, what small improvement can I make today that my future self will thank me for? Because your future self is watching the choices you make right now. The person you will become 5 years from now is depending on what you do with this moment. The person you will become 5 years from now is depending on what you do with this moment. Because time is moving whether you are improving or not. The clock does not stop for your excuses. The calendar does not wait for your confidence. The world does not pause until you feel ready. And that is both a challenge and a gift. Because every single day gives you another opportunity to choose who you want to become. You have another opportunity to learn, another opportunity to grow, another opportunity to make a better decision than the one you made yesterday. Let me tell you something. One of the biggest mistakes people make is they underestimate the power of today. They think today is just another ordinary day. They think one day does not matter. 1 hour does not matter. 1 page does not matter. 1 conversation does not matter. But those small moments are the building blocks of your entire life. A person does not wake up one morning and suddenly become successful. A person does not wake up one morning and suddenly become wise, disciplined, confident, and mentally strong. No, they become that person through thousands of small choices made when nobody was watching. A person becomes successful the same way a wall is built. 1 brick at a time. 1 decision at a time, 1 habit at a time. And sometimes you look at someone who has achieved something great and you think, how did they get there? But the answer is simple. They respected the small steps. They understood the power of consistency. They understood that greatness is not created in a single moment. Greatness is created in ordinary moments repeated with extraordinary commitment. Think about this for a moment. A person who learns one new idea every day collects 365 new ideas in a year. A person who improves one small weakness every month can completely transform their character over time. A person who saves a small amount of money consistently can create financial stability. A person who trains their body little by little can build incredible strength. A person who controls their thoughts little by little can build an unbreakable mindset. The problem is, most people want the reward without respecting the process. They want the transformations without experiencing the training. They want confidence without facing fear. They want success without developing discipline. But confidence is not something you wait for. Confidence is something you earn through keeping promises to yourself. Every time you do something you said you would do, you build trust with yourself. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you strengthen your character. Every time you keep going when things become difficult, you prove to yourself that you are capable of more than you imagined. And this is where many people misunderstand growth. They think growth should always feel good. They think progress should always feel exciting. But real growth is often uncomfortable. Growth means admitting you do not know something. Growth means accepting that your current habits are not producing your desired results. Growth means looking in the mirror and saying, there are things about myself that I need to improve. That requires humility. That requires courage. That requires honesty. Because the easiest person to lie to is yourself. You can convince yourself that you are trying when you are only thinking. You can convince yourself that you are preparing when you are only planning. You can convince yourself that you are improving when you are only consuming information without applying it. Knowledge alone does not transform you. Applied knowledge transforms you. You can read hundreds of books about success, but if you do not practice discipline, those books become nothing more than entertainment. You can listen to thousands of motivational speeches, but if you do not change your daily actions, motivation becomes temporary excitement. The question is not, how much do you know? The question is, what are you doing with what you know? Because wisdom is not measured by information. Wisdom is measured by application. A person who understands one powerful principle and applies it every day is more successful than a person who knows thousands of principles but practices none of them. Let me share a lesson that every great mentor eventually learns. Your habits are always voting for the person you are becoming. Every action is a vote. Every choice is a vote. Every thought you repeat is a vote. When you choose to wake up and learn, you vote for a stronger future. When you choose to waste hours avoiding responsibility, you vote for a weaker future. When you choose patience instead of anger, you vote for emotional strength. When you choose discipline instead of instant pleasure, you vote for a better life. And over time, those votes add up. That is the power of the compound effect. Small choices become patterns. Pars become habits. Habits become identity. And identity determines the direction of your life. A person who says, I am not a disciplined person, will continue searching for reasons why discipline is impossible. But a person who says, I am becoming disciplined, begins looking for opportunities to prove it. Your words matter. Your self-image matters. The story you tell yourself matters because every human being lives according to the story they believe. If your story is, I have always been this way, I cannot change, my past controls my future, then you will continue repeating the same patterns. But if your story becomes, I am learning, I am growing, I am improving every day, then your actions begin to follow that new belief. I remember hearing a powerful lesson from a mentor. Do not wish your life was easier. Work to become better. Because when you become better, problems that once overwhelmed you become challenges you can handle. A weak person sees every obstacle as a reason to stop. A growing person sees obstacles as training. A weak person asks, why is this happening to me? A stronger person asks, what is this teaching me? That one question can change your entire life. Because challenges are not always there to destroy you. Sometimes they are there to develop you. The pressure creates the diamond. The fire strengthens the metal. The difficult seasons create wisdom that comfortable seasons can never teach. Nobody becomes mentally strong by avoiding every struggle. Strength is developed by facing struggles and learning from them. Think about the person who has never failed. They may have confidence, but they have not been tested. They do not know what they are capable of.